Hello viewers, and welcome to a live stream so scandalous it requires copious disclaimers before we can even get underway. This show will contain nudity, albeit of the painted or hand-drawn variety intended to indoctrinate people into the Jehovah's Witness faith. There is also almost certainly going to be some degree of blasphemy, given that sex and religion can make awkward bedfellows. But to help me navigate a minefield of smut and scandal is an avalanche of bad association in the form of Jay Scott,
hey,
Jeremy Howell, aka Mentally Diseased, and
hello.
Rudy B, aka X-Cult Baby. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, I love being introduced as bad association.
Yeah, me too. Mentally diseased bad association.
Let you know right
The
at
very
beginning
worst
what
type,
you're going
yeah.
into.
So a live stream about Saucy Jehovah's Witness images. What could possibly go wrong?
Well, I like your use of the word saucy.
We're going to have to rate things by sauciness level. Like too much sauce, not enough sauce. That's the scale.
Yeah.
There's a song called "Too Much Sauce," and oh man, I wish we could play that with YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not all of them have the same sauciness rating. Actually, the one that we're going to start with has the maximum sauciness rating, and it kind of works down from there.
Nice.
And this is where I have to start messing around with the screen share. But before I do that, allow me to thank some super chats. Borg Assimilate. Happy New Year, Lloyd and friends. Thank you so much, Borg. Borg is also a patron. Welcome to Never Perching. I have my glass of Macallan's and pillow ready in
They got the
anticipation.
pillow out.
Yup.
Things are getting serious.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, ain't stopping him.
Yeah, so you can tell someone who's very familiar there with Jehovah's Witness culture when it comes to saucy content. And yeah, that's the super chats out of the way. So let me now do my screen share. I was experimenting with this earlier, but I hate messing around with screen shares. So hopefully none of my research into what is and isn't saucy comes up on the screen. So here we go. Can we see this?
Wow.
goodness.
So
I don't think
I
I've seen this one.
I told you we were in at the deep end,
Wow.
and as you can see, we very much are now. To viewers
I
who
gotta
aren't familiar,
zoom in. What is going on back there?
we will zoom in, Jeremy. We will. But first of all, can I just point out that this is from the book Creation? We are looking at an image from, bear with me one moment, page 265 of said book. And to prove that I'm not making this up, let me just turn to that page so we can just establish beyond any doubts that this is in fact...
I know you're doing that for posterity because, you know, witnesses will accuse apostates, but I don't know if any of them are going to be watching this.
There is said illustration on
Wow.
page 265 of the book Creation. It's a non-Jehovah's Witness painting by an artist called Max Klinger, who died in 1920, and this book was released in 1927, so 7 years after the artist died. Now, back to the painting. There's a few things going on here that we...
They're definitely
Lots to
creating something
unpack.
back there. They're creating
So-
something.
I think what we need to do is we need to first of all comment on these two chaps behind
expression.
one of the
Oh,
cross.
no.
Any idea what might be happening here?
Man, I guess they're into bondage. Like they just couldn't help themselves seeing this.
They're into some messed up stuff.
Just ripped it off and went to town.
So
I do not
Quite-
like either of their expressions.
there's also these crucifixes, which I actually was reading in an art history book, that these are quite likely to be historically accurate crucifixes because they're not very high, and they have this crossbeam that supports the body, and you can see there's kind of a
Oh, Yeah,
Yeah.
a little dick rest there.
So, yes, so they've given this some thought, the
Ooh.
Romans, but is it me, or has the artist Max Klinger really accentuated the relationship between the crucifix and the buttocks there?
Yeah, he's all cheeked up.
Yeah.
I don't
You're working
want
out.
to. I don't want to be blasphemous or anything, but Jesus, is it cold outside or something? Because I'll be honest with you. You know, you think the
We
Son
went
of
there.
God was
We
a
really
little
did go there. Yeah.
bit- a little bit more length to the Son of God, but unfortunately,
Something that my parents always told me, and they it's one of those weird things that witnesses will just think a little bit too hard about certain things, like
don't use the
you know,
word
when it got
hard.
brought
Don't
up
say
that
hard. Don't say hard.
okay, when it got brought up that Jesus never got buried, they would always emphasize, and Jesus was the perfect man. He didn't have imperfection, and they would go into detail about the implications of that. They didn't necessarily say he was hung, but I feel like if you were thinking about it, that's kind of where that inevitably ends up if you follow that line of thought.
Hopefully
we
you
can
understand what I mean when I say this is the sauciest of the
Yeah.
images. It can't get much more saucy than this,
No.
can it? Really? You
No,
know?
Well,
I
you know-
mean that ass over there is straight up eating the cross.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, you know, we can't
Oh.
see the top of the cross. He may be pole dancing, right? We don't know. Is that like the first pole dance ever? We don't know. We're not sure.
An endless stream of blasphemy on this one, viewers. I do apologise from my bad association panel.
Well, you know, we can say Jesus was really good at manscaping, though. Look at that. That's a clean underarm, no chest hair, immaculate manscaping done by the Son of God.
Although
my
that
question is, how
arm-
do you get that full beard, but then no hair anywhere
No
else.
hair anywhere else.
But his arm looks quite weak. I don't know what his other arm looks like, but one of the arms looks quite spindly.
It does.
Is that
right?
just me?
Yeah,
But anyway.
if this is supposed to
No.
be peak masculine physique,
Yeah. He'd struggle to pick anything up of any substantial weight, if you're asking me. So that was I've titled this "An Interesting Crucifixion."
Yeah.
We move on to the next image, Topless Babylon. Here we go.
Oh.
So
big fan.
we have Babylon the Great astride a very interesting beast with what appears to be a menagerie of different heads, including that of a pig.
Huh.
Yeah.
I wonder-
That one with a horn there looks like my dad.
Oh goodness.
So this was actually from a 1930 book, Light, Volume 2. I don't know whether you can see it on the small screen there. But yes, Watchtower, I must say, and we're going to see more evidence of this, went through a phase of showing topless women in the publications. And that will make up quite a significant portion of our top 20 list.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Also, what is her expression? Like she looks kind of terrified.
It looks like she's eyeballing that cactus like she's about to fall on it.
Yeah, she must be real
Like the
drunk, and she's like,
bare-chested
"Oh no, I'm
going
about
for
to
the
fall
cactus."
off this."
It's almost as though the artist actually got someone to pose. And the startled image, because you can just about see on the, she's even wearing a bandana that says Babylon because apparently she needs extra
Right.
ID.
Uh-huh.
It's probably her birthday, you know, like when you go out on your birthday, you wear like
Yeah.
a thing that says "birthday girl" or something like that.
Yeah,
Just like I'm Babylon, I'm Babyloning.
If Babylon
Yeah.
the Great was selling merch, I would buy that headband. That's a dope headband right there. That's a hard headband.
I'm just guessing the startled expression might be the genuine kind of discomfort of the actual model who's modeling for this particular.
How long do I have to hold this pose?
I can just imagine the artist saying, "Okay, just picture yourself riding a 7-headed beast. One head is a googlish like gargoyle. There's a pig. Looks like Rodin is down there. One of them is definitely a red leopard, though. Just what face would you have if you were riding that? You know, she just had to hold that. Is that a snake too?
There's all sorts going on. Yeah, it's a very strange beast. Pre-Revelation climax.
Yeah, I wonder I wonder at what point the Jehovah's Witness canon of what the heads looked like on the beast, like officially changed to all be leopard-like. Like I'm legitimately curious as to what the thinking was on that.
You wouldn't really be scared of this, would you? You just laugh at it, you know.
Oh,
a pig!
Like,
Oh no, it's a pig!
hell?
I'm terrified. So we move on to image number 3, which I've titled "Eve's Boobs," and let me show you what I mean.
I can imagine.
So there we go. So this is an image from, let me just check my notes, the 1936 book Riches, and we have here a depiction of Adam and Eve in the garden, butt naked. To the left you can see the serpent, which
With
has
legs.
and in the background perhaps you can see there's a menacing figure who looks like he's Satan. So Satan is present twice in this artwork, both as the serpent and as a bat-winged villain standing in the background.
Huh.
Now tell me if I'm incorrect, but is Satan checking out Eve's butt right now?
I think
I
Adam's
know
the
that.
one
Adam's
Adam's
butt.
the one standing up.
Yeah.
He's
okay.
definitely checking out Adam's butt.
He's checking out somebody's butt. He
It
has
was like a
Lord,
nice snack.
and he's curious. He's like, okay, I see what we're working with over here. Like he's really checking it out. Bad Satan, bad.
I like that Adam's arm is strategically positioned.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Nobody's forearm is that long. Come on.
yeah, but for as
Nobody.
skinny as his wrist is, there's probably not that much going on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said it. I did. And why is the serpent looking like, yo, put some clothes on? Like, what are y'all doing? I'm the only one that's supposed to be naked.
Both the
around here.
serpent and the Satan figure are checking out Adam's ass at the
Yeah.
same time.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, like Dane looks like the creepy guy in the corner of the bar. Like, looking for who he's gonna sexually harass next.
He's looking for a couple to have a threesome with, and he thinks he just found it.
Aha.
I
Now
think I can work this out.
The naked Eve images are going to get a little bit more, shall we say, voluptuous
I was hoping, because this
As
is
we-
kind of sad.
as we proceed.
The first woman, and you got like,
Now, the next title, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking it needed. I maybe should have thought of a different title. When I say shaven, I mean
Oh,
I mean shaven as in that he's not got a beard. So let me just zoom out a little bit, and So there is.
Wow,
that's hard to
sweet.
look
All
at.
right.
That's
All right.
hard to look at.
Well, my goodness.
That's right.
Is it just me, or is there a little bit of homoeroticism going on here? Because
A
we have.
little.
A little. Who is that back there? They look like they're cleaning off.
He is glistening. He is glistening.
And Jesus is that after sex swagger,
Yeah. Somebody couldn't wait to draw some glistening muscles, boy.
Right.
Like, ah.
What year was this one? What year is this one?
I'm glad you asked, Rudy. So this was, so this was 1942 in the book The New World, one of the first publications after Rutherford had died.
oh,
So
Right.
1942.
So he's looking all American.
Indeed.
Yep, that
Wow.
sounds about right.
I mean, this is definitely something that I would see on the walls at a gay bar for sure.
Absolutely.
Like
I mean,
bathhouse gay bar, maybe even.
So I'm
The
right to include
advertisement.
it in a list of saucy images then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
I mean, draws really look bad back in the day. I mean, those are unsexy
It
draws.
had to be uncomfortable
Come
too.
on. I mean,
Yeah, there's-
man.
maybe the artist was like, I don't know how that would stay up like that. So they just kept adding more and more layers to it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how this would stay up. Maybe if I add another layer, it'll look
They
great.
just knotted it 20 times.
That's what I
What's he
think
doing
about.
with his hand? Is he trying to hear something? Is
I
there
think
like another mating
I think
call?
he's listening out to the voice of God saying, "This is my son, the beloved, whom I have approved," and they're emphasizing the fact that he's listening out. There's something going on in an audio sense.
You'd think if God was talking, he wouldn't need to like crane in to hear it.
Right.
Yeah.
What's that?
I just came out the water. My hearing's not that good.
Like, we gotta check out the water. Then
Take it out.
I'm all
Yeah.
clogged up.
We've really come far as underwear technology. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I can get my drawers on under 2 seconds now. It take him at least 20 minutes. Hold up, wash, flatten, all that.
how do you go to the bathroom in that?
Hey, I have no idea. You just gotta just unfold it. Hopefully, you ain't gotta go quick because it's gonna be a minute.
And maybe it's just me, but is it just Jesus looks like a straight up Caucasian here, and this is supposed to be a Middle Eastern man. Am I the only one that thinks that's slightly inaccurate?
I mean, a lot. I mean, he's almost blonde. Is he blonde?
I think so. Yeah, yeah.
If not, pretty close.
Or ginger, maybe a ginger Jesus.
Yeah.
Nah,
No. They were racist against they were racist against Irish people too back then. They couldn't have made him ginger.
So, moving straight on, we're back to Eve's bosom. This is a 1943 image that we're about to see. If I can just shuffle the images again. And yes, so
she's perked up a bit.
Much better.
all right.
hopefully you understand what I mean when I say that she's a bit more voluptuous.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
as
now
we
we've reached the B cup now. Going a little bit more curvier. Okay.
So this is the 1943 book, The Truth Shall Make You Free. I have it here in my pile of books. I don't need to turn to every page. You guys can just trust me, can't you? That I'm, would an apostate lie to you?
We're apostate. You can't trust us.
That's right.
Now, the interesting thing is that there are actually no less than 4 images of Eve's cleavage in this book alone, one of which hasn't made the cut. It's actually side cleavage. So I've gone for the full-on cleavage for my selection of 3, but it's almost as though the artist, whoever did the artwork in this book, was fixated on Eve. I mean, you could imagine maybe his manager saying, "So how's the Bible artwork coming on? Have you done anything of David? Not so much David yet. Have you done anything of Jesus? The Jesus ones are coming. I'm doing a bit of work on Eve. It's required a bit of research, you know."
The thing that I've noticed about this one is not only is Eve much curvier, but Adam's a lot more jacked. I can see like a little bit of outline of kind of a vicious V going on down there.
Yeah.
And he's got pecs and abs, and
His forearms are larger.
yeah, they're not just like noodles.
Question: How did Adam's hair get that nice though? Did he what products is he using? Because you're not just walking around.
Right,
Exactly.
right.
He got the perfect he obviously combed it with some mousse, all that. Yeah, he got the curls at the bottom, party in the back, business in the front type of thing going on. Kind of a mullet. It looks.
You have to give it to him. He hadn't even invented clothes yet, and he'd already mastered both cutting hair and shaving in the Garden of Eden.
Pretty awesome.
Eve did the same thing. She definitely had some type of stylist. I'm guessing it was probably like a giraffe or a moose, somebody like that. I don't know why. I just feel like those are the animals with the best hair.
That
I mean,
tongue.
giraffes have 6. Yeah, they have like 6 inch long tongues, so that's probably do it.
And moose, they got those antlers they can comb.
Not to stop being horny like the rest of us, but again, they've drawn the snake with arms, and today in the artwork, the snake always just looks like a snake. I wonder at what point Watchtower stopped being just started ignoring the fact that the Bible clearly implies that at some point snakes had feet. At what point did they just start ignoring that?
Right. And this snake here looks like a dog begging for a treat.
Yeah, he's just hanging around. He's like, yeah.
Maybe the snake has helped with Eve's appearance and wants some kind of payment in return.
The snake is her stylist.
I think
Yes.
Give me some of that true fruit. I want to learn some truth too.
Let's just take a break, shall we? Because I'm anxious not to delve too much into smut, and I think surely our audience is going to help us here with some trenchant observations. Christine says, "Is it just me, or does that bald-faced Jesus look a lot like Rutherford in his early photos?" I think the Jesus was more good-looking, frankly, than Rutherford. Yeah. And let me just change the panel round so that Jay can do a stint on the bottom, and we'll rotate. So
I've been on the bottom before.
John Robertson says JW. Okay. Let's see.
Speaks for itself.
Adam's comb has been found by archaeologists.
What I want to find is Adam's workout routine.
That's right. His comb would be like a fish or something like that, right? The ribs of a fish or something.
So it looks great, smells bad.
If she had stayed in the garden, she could have those massive badonkadonks.
Right.
I don't know what that means. Someone commenting on the thickness of the bush. I don't know how that's relevant.
Hilarious.
It's just boobs. I don't get the big deal. I guess because they don't show them today. And this is the interesting thing is, and kind of the reason why we did the 20 terrible images is that, and the interesting thing is that there are terrible images and violent images today as well, including in the videos. But it's just fascinating to see how Watchtower has progressed over the years, and just learn more about the history of the organization and some of the outrageous stuff that you can find.
It's very telling that their sensibilities with sexuality has tightened up quite a bit, but their sensibilities with violence have not.
No.
Indeed, yeah.
Like back in the day, they were freely able to show boobs and whatnot, and they didn't feel bad about it. But now, anything close to a boob, and they're publishing anything, like you're not going to see any images anywhere close to this stuff right here, and that's why I'm showing it, because they've come so far. Or gone back so far. I don't know which direction this organization's heading, but it's definitely funny to see what they used to put out, and just to make fun of it, So yeah, boobs are funny.
There's a super chat which I'm unable to show because my screen won't let me show it, but it's an extremely generous super chat from Becky, who says, "I'm thinking this is probably not going to be monetized." Quite right there, Becky. Yep. So thank you for your super chat. And another one from Rianne. Great subject. Thanks, all of you. Thank you so much, Rianne. So we move on in our list. Let me go back to our banners. So the next one is more of Eve's boobs. I've imaginatively titled it.
Still the 40s.
Another aspect of...
Where'd her nipples go?
Yeah, so I'm guessing maybe one of her nipples is a little bit too far round so we can't see it, and the other one is concealed by her arm.
As someone with boobs, that's not how they work. There should be a nipple in that picture. It's kind of weird that there isn't.
Her hair is on fleek, though. Look at that.
Oh, my God.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Adam's mullet is on point. For the 100th degree, that's what his mullet's supposed to look like right there.
I love how at this point they have, they're ashamed of being naked, but still haven't realized that boobs are part of being naked. Which makes sense because it's like, whatever, his nipples are out, why not mine?
Yeah.
I don't care. But they didn't draw her with nipples, so it's still...
Yeah, that's funny.
Maybe this was a more enlightened age. Maybe this is how humans should be. We should be unafraid or unashamed to show the female version of the male.
Don't get me wrong. Free the nipple, totally.
So, moving swiftly on to the next imaginatively titled title. Even more of Eve's boobs. Let me just scroll out again, and there we go.
Oh, there's your nipple.
So now we can see. Yeah, so they're being banished. It looks like now they have fur.
Yeah, they're getting way better at clothes.
Somewhere here they killed an animal.
Leaves are just not that warm, Like, I can imagine Adam being like, I'm just so cold down there. It got to be something warmer than these leaves.
I'm so confused because if it has anything to do with warmth, you'd think there'd be a little bit more than just the groin being covered up, right?
Right.
But no. So I'm not really sure.
My problem is why is Eve acting like she's covering her face from a camera or something? Like
It's the paparazzi. The paparazzi are camped outside the Garden of Eden.
It was affiliated on Maury.
Breaking news on TMZ: Adam and Eve have been kicked out of the garden.
Get that camera out of my face! Get that camera out of my face!
Eve, tell us what happened. What were you thinking when you took that apple?
Your fans demand answers.
Adam, just come on, don't talk. We'll wait till the lawyers handle it. Don't say nothing.
No comment.
No comment.
Oh man!
Oh, good grief. So the next one I've titled Eve Reaching. Spoiler alert, there will be boobs, but there will also be a bit of buttock. Because one thing we haven't had so far is Eve's buttocks. And this, by the way, is just a tiny, tiny illustration in the 1953 book, New Heavens, New Earth.
That snake.
The snake's there again, her personal stylist. And yeah, there's a bit of reaching going on there.
They keep changing up her hairstyle. How long was it? Tell us. Just be honest. Was it short? Was it shoulder length? Was it down to her ass? Tell us. Keep it consistent. She looks like a Barbie doll, though. Especially with her feet up in the air like that. Because I don't know if you guys noticed that old Barbie dolls, for some reason, are always on their tiptoes so that they can wear high heels. That's what she looks like right now.
That's exactly what you're doing. Well, let me just point out, if she's not supposed to eat this forbidden fruit, God really made it easy to do. I mean, all you had to do was get on your tippy toes to reach it. That's it. You could have made it a little bit taller, a little bit harder to reach.
Yeah, I mean,
like you wanted them to get it.
If we're going to talk about other mythologies, they always make the forbidden fruit like you have to pass 3 quests to get it or something. It's not just there. Because whenever the gods put something dangerous just there, they pretty much mean for you to get it.
And does the snake have webbed feet?
Maybe this was an incentive for Eve to invent high heels. You can reach it if you're wearing high heels.
That's where it came from.
Stilettos.
Fun fact, men were actually the first ones to wear high heels because they felt inferior if they weren't tall.
Interesting.
Really?
Yeah,
Yep.
but Eve's definitely
That explains my wearing of stilettos. Okay.
Eve has definitely...
You can justify it that way, yeah.
Eve has definitely been doing squats, though. I can see it. It's been working for her. I'm proud of her. She's getting the curve. She's been working for her. It's
I'd be better, but yeah, I guess.
We move on to the next image, and again, it's not a very imaginative title. Another wet Jesus.
All right. This is what I'm here for.
Jesus, let's go. There's the whole eroticism. Let's go.
This is from 1982, and if I'm not mistaken, this is the Live Forever book. So there's
Look at that sharp beard.
That's right.
And that look. That's
that look.
He knows what he's doing. He knows what he wants, and he's gonna get it.
Yeah, I was about to say Jesus, as an exclamation, but Jesus.
Actually, Jesus, right?
Yeah, actually, Jesus. He is glistening. He is muscular. He is dripping. His hair, his beard, his expression.
And look at that poor fool in the background. I wish I could be that pretty.
Yeah, there is nothing about this dude that doesn't scream you need to come get some.
Right.
his calves are very well defined there as well, it must be said. A bit like mine. But that's where the likeness ends, if I'm going to be completely honest. He's a good physical specimen.
Hey,
deliberately so, it would seem.
He'd have to play hockey or football or something. You're just not walking around with that type of physique at that age. Trust me.
No.
Carpenter.
Although again, that underwear isn't working, if we're honest. I mean, you're going to want something that isn't going to absorb plenty of water and, frankly, risk falling down due to the weight of the water that's in it. That's what looks like might happen at any moment here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was wearing less.
Jeremy
clothes when I
wouldn't
got
want that to
baptized.
happen, I'm sure.
Not at all. I mean,
No.
we're not all eyes over here.
Yeah. Oh no! Don't fall down! Don't fall down!
That's right.
Oh no, he fell down. You okay? I'm not gonna help you up because I just want to look, but you know.
Once again, another perfectly shaved chest, no hair,
Yeah.
no hair, and it's just perfect.
He looks like Captain
Maybe
America,
they were afraid
kinda.
that he'd be even hotter with chest hair.
Oh man, that'd be no. I seen some images of like Jesus on the like Jehovah Witnesses put out where he had chest hair. I don't remember where, but I definitely saw it before. Oh, what?
Like a Sean Connery Jesus.
Something like
I could
that.
imagine that.
Yeah.
I could. So we go to number 10, Daughters of Men. Staying in the Live Forever book, I think you know where this is going. It's that famous image
Yes.
of the Daughters of Men bathing as the angels look on, and there's a little bit of a story here. So
Oh, I know this story.
So this is the image of the Daughters of Men, looking attractive, and this is, if you open the 2 pages, you can see in the top left you have some angels, fairly ripped angels looking down there. The angelic sons of God noticed the Daughters of Men, but there's obviously a face in the foreground there, which it turns out was actually plagiarized from a magazine cover, a worldly magazine cover.
Wow.
And the lady that we're looking at is actually, let me bring up my notes, Pascal Petit, who appeared in Playboy November 1963 and some raunchy movies such as the European sex comedy Frau Wirtin hat auch einen Grafen. So they basically plagiarized an image of a porn star in the
You could have
Live
left
book.
it there. You could have left it there. Never mind. We gotta go. We gotta move on.
What's great about it, like, this is the 1980s. It's not like they Googled up some picture and it was an accident. Like, someone had that book. They had
Right.
it.
No
Not
way.
I
You just-
knew.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, somebody was sitting there like, you know what? I know who this is. I know what she does. I'm
And-
100% gonna put this in. I'm gonna see how far I can get with it.
I bet he did that to troll all the Jehovah's Witness guys who would inevitably
100.
see this and be like, I know that face.
Yo,
But see, nobody was going to say anything because then they'd be outing themselves.
That's
They-
right.
they were all just
But
like,
it does tell us how extensive the research of the writing department is. They will leave no stone unturned when it comes to finding the right image for
Yep.
spiritual food.
Look through the entire magazine. We have to find the picture.
So some interesting sources of research there for spiritual food. We revert back to the comments. What's going on in the comments? Rescue us. Funny thing, angels weren't supposed to be male or female, but they always fall for women only. Interesting point.
You know, as somebody who is also most of the time neither male nor female, but usually also falls for women, I get it. I get it.
100%. But
Christy-
I just like to point out how the angel was looking at him the same way that the devil was in the other picture.
Just
It's
like-
always this look, you know, just like, okay.
Like, the angels are all super ripped, but for some reason, apparently all the angels have a masculine physique, so they see women and they're like, we don't have those. That's awesome.
Hilarious.
Christina there says this was done by a brother who was having naughty magazines. That's what it.
100%.
That's kind of what it looks like. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. How'd they find this pic? Says Heather. I always had a crush on this girl. Says Motorway to Roswell. Speaking for many of us, I think it's fairly safe to say.
And then when we found out she was a porn star, it was like, that makes sense. That tracks.
And the whole time we were told everyone painted in the publications were JWs. Well, you raise an interesting point there, Celia, because we're going to get to some images that weren't plagiarized, where we're going to be asking the question, if this was posed by, let's say, some Bethelites, what was that like in the studio?
Interesting.
Right.
You'll see what I mean
Yeah, good
as this goes deeper in. But we're at the halfway point, and it's time to bring in number 11, A Special Baptism, 1984.
Is this another wet Jesus?
This was It's related to Jesus, but it's not so much focused on the wetness. I'm interested to see what Jeremy makes of this. It's a bit of a bear situation.
My goodness.
Going on here.
A bit of a bear situation.
We finally got a little chest hair happening.
There go the chest hair.
I just think if I stumbled upon this scene, let's say I was walking along the banks of the River Jordan and I saw two chaps in the water being this intimate, I would want to give them some privacy. That's just me personally.
Your eyes. Yeah. Where is he looking? Is he like looking at the nape of his neck? I'm going to clamp down on that later.
So intense.
And why is Jesus
so ripped?
And just think about how tough Jesus is to be getting baptized and not even close his eyes. Like to just straight up keep your eyes open, getting dumped into a lake. That's so gangster right there. I'm like, no, that's the tough. This is the strongest image of Jesus I've ever seen. Like, Jesus get baptized, he don't even close his eyes. He just open-eyed it. What?
Jay developing a crush he never knew he had. This is from the February 15th Watchtower 1984 on page 9, if anyone is interested. And when I was doing my research, I noticed that this image was used again the next year. So they were clearly quite keen on this particular image at around that time in Watchtower history.
Wouldn't they be like beyond caveman wear at this point?
Yeah,
why does he
I
wear
was wondering that. I'm like, why does he look like a caveman?
We've come full circle from the 1942 Jesus, haven't we? The clean-shaven blonde. We've kind of gone straight to...
Honestly, that makes so much sense with the times. In the 40s, they'd want a clean-shaven Jesus, and now in the 80s, they're like, let's get a bear in here.
So anyway, it was definitely a special baptism, this, I think, it's safe to say. The next one's called Naked with Lions. I couldn't think of a more appropriate title.
I know which one this is.
Yeah, so this is also from the Live Forever book. There's some nakedness going on here, and some lions in close proximity to one's equipment.
I've never understood the sort of, like, association between big cats and sexiness. Maybe it's power or whatever, because but that was a bad choice for putting them with Adam and Eve. It doesn't make this not it like it somehow makes it sexy, even though it's like maybe it's just by association. I don't know, but it's like there's nothing tame about this scene.
This is Live Forever forewarning us of Tiger King, I feel.
Yeah.
And one thing you don't want to have near your equipment are sharp things. Because accidents can happen. Even if the lions aren't vicious and they've been gorging on vegetation, moments before this was taken, all it takes is just a momentary slip. They probably have some
lettuce in those giant canines that are meant
He could mistake something for, say, a carrot.
Yep.
And an accident happens, so...
From the evidence, I don't know if they'll mistake it for anything but a baby carrot at most.
I'm just going to say this. Cats always have a habit of, like, scratching at things that dingle. So you have your ding-a-ling around the cat. Because they don't have regular fingernails. They have hooks for fingernails, and you don't want that thing to be just dangling around, especially a big old lion. This is the smallest lion I've ever seen in my life, though. Is that an adult male lion?
They're definitely not drawn to scale.
It is not to scale at all. Somebody got really lazy.
Again, though, you just wonder about the creative process. I mean, the caption here reads, male and female, he created them. So the artist was commissioned to draw paint a picture of Adam and Eve, and you can just imagine his superior kind of walking into the art department and saying, Jeff, how's that picture of Adam and oh, that's what you're doing. It's just such a strange take, isn't it?
Well, if it's supposed to be symbolic, we have the male lion and the female lions, but two female lions. Are they promoting polyamory here?
Now, here's something interesting. I may or may not have watched a documentary about homosexuality in the animal kingdom several times, because it's one of the things that made me question when I was first getting out. I was like, this is actually super well documented. It's kind of weird how it doesn't just happen with humans who are supposedly the only ones that sinned. But anyway, there's actually quite a bit of female on female action with lions. So maybe the guy is just there to impregnate them, but they have all their fun with each other.
Interesting. I did not know
Abigail
that.
Parker saying this is the original Tiger King, and Tamar saying my childhood is now flashing before me, literally. Yeah.
Literally.
Also, when I read the phrase male and female, he created them. Now I don't think, oh, male and female. I think, oh, he made them male and female. They're all bi-gender. They're all gender fluid. Got it. That makes sense. That makes way more sense.
If I was looking at this picture of Adam, I could definitely see his name not being Adam, but being Joe Exotic. You know, he looks like a Joe Exotic type of guy. If that was anybody.
But he's lost his mullet from the 1940s. You know, you really need that mullet back, don't you, in this
the original
situation?
Joe Exotic, right?
Yeah.
And she looks like somebody who would be with somebody named Joe Exotic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the next one I've titled Not Much Armor. And this is from the cover of a 1988 Awake about the last days. Are we in the last days? Apparently we were in 1988. And as you can see in the background there,
Okay,
Hey.
Jesus. Okay.
there's an interesting depiction of the four horsemen. They're going into battle in a state of some undress, it would seem.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
You don't see those. Jesus is fully armored up. You don't see those guns he have. Ain't nothing getting through that hard chest. Look at those six-pack abs. Those rocks hard. He's good.
I don't know whether it's just me, but if I saw these guys kind of running towards me, I wouldn't know whether to laugh or run. It would probably end up being something of both. You know?
Something of both. These are like the apocalyptic village people here.
Absolutely
You
not.
got all your archetypes.
We've got like a wolf and a bear. I mean, this guy's a little bit more chonky, a little bit more broad. And
Yeah.
then we've got super toned Jesus and
And we again need to ask the question, what was it like on set in the studio
Yeah.
Right.
when the Bethites were posing for this? There must have been some giggles.
A little bit. It looked like the 4 stages of drug addiction, though. Now you start off, you're all normal, and then it progressively get worse and worse, you know?
Yeah, the other one is a little bit less.
yeah.
A little bit less voluptuous there on
There
the
you
left.
go. Yeah,
Yeah.
4 horsemen, 4 stages of meth. You know, that's it right there.
why are the horses so veiny? It's uncomfortable to look at.
It is, especially the red one.
Yeah. Ugh.
So that was Not Much Armor. We move on to Gossip Girls. I'm interested to see what you think of this. I found this in, I think, a 1989 Watchtower. I will get you the reference. But for me, there's a kind of
Ooh.
That's
Jake-
gay.
there's a
got
kind
some
of Jade and
chemistry.
Nita thing going on
I've
here.
been there. I've been there. I'm the girl on the well, I guess I'm neither because
Are you the
neither of us
seducer?
are very good looking. No, I was the one that was like, oh, is this gonna go somewhere? But I'm not gonna go in for it. But like, I'll just be here. But
In case
like,
it happens, you know.
like, are we gonna kiss? Are we about to kiss? Is that about to happen? No. Of course not. No, but like maybe.
I mean, she is looking straight at her lips.
While
There is no misreading
touching
the
her own
situation.
lips. That
Uh-huh.
is wow.
You know how you can see pictures and you can just hear words even though they're not saying nothing? You just know that one of them is saying, you damn right I'm free later.
Yeah. You know, this reminds me of a real situation that happened in my life. Like the girl on the right, and I'm the girl on the left, and the girl on the right saying, I just wish that I could like practice kissing with somebody because I don't know what's gonna be like when I date guys. You know, I'm not gonna know. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I wish we could just practice on somebody, and I'm just there like,
Wouldn't that be
uh-huh,
nice?
Yeah.
Now, it's worth bearing in mind that, again, these will almost certainly be Bethelites. And the article in question is not about lesbian relationships, but about gossip. Guard against harmful gossip. And so these sisters are supposed to be dressed as widows because it's quoting there on the screen from 1 Corinthians 5:11-15, where Paul says, "Therefore I desire the younger widows to marry, to bear children." Apparently that's what women need to do. To manage a household, to give no inducement to the opposer to revile. So they're supposed to be dressed as widows, and the message is supposed to be, women don't gossip, because we know you're the worst at it.
Yeah, what I get out of this is that both of those ladies are definitely single
Yeah.
because they're widows.
Yes.
And they
are
haven't
not
gotten
marrying
some in a
again.
while. They haven't gotten some in a while. They're not going to
No.
be able to find another man, probably.
But again, you're the photographer in the art department. You have these two Bethelite sisters in front of you. Your brief is to take a picture that's to do with gossip, and as you've commented, instead of kind of even looking like they're talking, one is just gazing at the other's lips.
While
You'd
touching
be-
her own lips.
You'd be tempted to say, ladies, can you at least try to look as though you're talking or whispering, you know? Oh, you're just going to gaze at each other longingly.
okay.
Oh, okay, we'll go with that then, you know?
But you know, after what you just said, and because I didn't know that they were like symbolically widows,
Yeah.
it kind of changes it for me. Now she looks like she's saying, "You know, I killed his ass, right?" Yeah, girl, I did too. Like we both killed our husband.
Like, you're single.
Wow.
I'm
Yeah.
single.
That's right. Now we can really get together now. But yeah, he got to go.
Jay's mind is a dark, dark place. That's all I'm going to say. viewers.
Horrible. I live with this thing every day.
That's
So
incredible.
the
I'm gonna
next
add
one-
this to my Jade and Nita fan fiction.
And in case you're wondering where this was found, it's from the Watchtower of 1989, October 15th. I think page 1016 in the bound volume. Anyway, the next one I'm calling Angelic Huddle. It's from a little bit more recently, 2003. Let me just zoom out and switch across.
Oh, I love this one. I love this one.
And you have a 2003 version of the image we were talking about earlier, where the angels are looking down at the pretty women. The women here presumably aren't based on porn stars, but
Maybe.
the angels seem to be having a gay old time.
They sure are. I love that guy with his arms crossed and his head thrown back. Like, I'm going to get me some of that.
Yeah,
Oh man.
this is man. I mean, I feel like both parts of the image separately have their own thing going on. Like,
Yeah.
whenever I see a picture of two women doing a mundane task and just giggling and leaning in real close to each other, I'm like, okay, that's kind of gay. That's at least a little gay. Don't pretend it's not. It's a little gay. They're both thinking like, oh my God, are we about to kiss? But then they don't. But they both thought it. It's a little gay.
You're hilarious.
But then you've got those dudes up top that are all like, look at those fine ladies, with all their muscles, and that's gay too.
And Fred, do you mind if I just lean on your shoulder as I look at the pretty women, you know?
He's just trying to blend in.
You know they've all got angelic hard-ons under that cloud.
He's just trying to blend in. I love it.
Yeah. As a straight man, I've never been with four of my pals with no shirts on, checking out women. That's never happened before.
All very close to each other.
Just very close. Oh man, look at her, bro. One of them, I can't even see where his arm is at, so I'm a little bit nervous.
I mean, guys, I know heaven is a big place, but on this one occasion, I think we need to group super close together.
That's
to
right.
Look at these women. Yeah.
Let's all have one cloud.
Yeah, you tell me it's only one cloud. Like, come on, man.
they're definitely, I mean, like, they definitely all have whatever the angelic version of a hard-on is under those clouds. You can't see that part, but that's definitely happening. And they're all way too close to each other for that not to still be gay, even though they're looking at women, but they're still real close to each other.
Yeah, like those two that are, the one that's on top of his shoulder, it looks like they're on top of each other if they're laying down flat, right?
Like
he's definitely on him.
Like there are a bunch of bros watching porn together and being like, "Oh, we're jerking off to women, so it's not gay."
Safe to say, there's no social distancing going on here at all.
But let's just say, whatever gym they have in heaven, it is top notch. Like they get results in the holy kingdom.
They have a good gym and they have good barbers.
They do. Yeah. They do. Good hair products. I guess it's heaven. It really is heaven.
Yeah.
So I've called the next one Smuttifer's wife, because we have a fairly graphic depiction of the story of Joseph and Potiphar's wife. So this is a Bible card. Collect and learn. You'll see it says there. And so this is something where, and this was devised in 2011. You'll see on the copyright mark maybe at the bottom there. So this was a case of something that children need to cut out with their scissors and use it to learn more about Bible characters. And what they most need to learn about Joseph, apparently, is that he declined sex with a horny Potiphar. That's what they need to learn most.
Wow.
Okay, first of all, that's okay. If you look at the two of them, it's like, dude, she is way out of your league. Just say yes. This is the best you are ever gonna get. What is wrong with you? Your pasty ass, ugly haircut, okay face, no pecs, no abs.
Right?
And you're sitting there all seductress style, like, come here. Like,
it's a far cry from the angels we were just looking at, isn't it? Let's be honest. Yeah.
Right. Like, they know how to draw hot men, clearly, but they didn't. So what is he doing?
He's like, leave me alone, you're drunk.
You can't even hold a tray properly. He's lucky to have a job.
This is a rom-com scenario.
That's right.
But I like that he was still confident enough about his physique to wear a top that sort of showed it.
Right, just wide open. Let me waltz in here with a tray of wine to my lady. Open up my shirt while I do it.
I feel like she wasn't even after him because he's good looking. She just had the cougar mentality of like, he's younger than me. He's totally inexperienced. Obviously, I mean, look at him. He's clearly a virgin. That's what I want.
First off, who walked into a room with 4 glasses of wine
for one person?
Naked, and then be like, no, I don't want to do anything. I want to just cuddle or something. I don't know. Like, why did he even come in there with the wine anyway if he wasn't trying to get it cracked?
Right, and it's 4 glasses.
Right, 4 glasses. That's 2 each. Y'all ain't going up. It ain't like y'all about to watch Netflix or something.
I do feel a little bit sorry because there's an animal involved in this scene as well.
Oh.
So there's a little kitty cat that doesn't know what's going on. Bless it.
But the cat has his own bottle of wine. I don't know why he got the wine for it. He got a whole bottle just for him. Like, y'all don't, like, we
Am I
just
the only
get
one?
drunk, huh?
Am I the only one who's ever kicked their pet out of their room because you and your partner were about to do it? You're just like, I want to shield your little innocent animal eyes. I'm putting some treats in the bathroom and then I'm locking the door.
Clearly, she has no such concerns.
No.
Yeah, that cat's like, I've seen things.
But that's the thing, cats are okay when it comes to that. It's some dogs you got to worry about. Them dogs.
They're going to try to jump in
They'll
with
jump
you.
right in the bed like, yo, what are we doing? We playing? What are we doing? We wrestling?
Where do I fit into this scenario?
Exactly.
Right.
You
Cats
just
will
tell me
sit
where.
back and you're like, okay. Well, when you guys are done, make room on the bed.
Cats will do it. Cats will be like, y'all, okay, I'm getting out of here. Cats are more mature. So they cool.
So are we comfortable with the way I've titled this live stream? Am I on target? Are these saucy images or is it just me?
No, these are saucy. Saucy as hell. I always thought, like, I always thought that the phrase that's in, I don't know if it's in just the Jehovah's Witness Bible or in every Bible, but she's like, lie down with me. I'm like, that's so sterile. Like, there's nothing about that is like, oh, they're about to fuck. But with this image, it's like, I get it now.
Yeah.
Like, come lie down with me. Just bring that wine. Just come on. It's fine. Just sit. It's fine. Like, now I get it.
There's a really interesting one coming up. I've called it Nineveh Girls. Apologies because I seem to have misspelt Nineveh. But anyway, Nineveh Girls is the title of our next image. And yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's from, I think, 2013. So
I remember this one.
what we have here is Jonah in Nineveh. He's looking at some statues that seem to have a double purpose, shall we say. That they're multi-use. They can be ornamental or they can be something else. And there are some ladies wearing attire that would get you thrown out of a kingdom hall, shall we say.
Honestly, all of this live stream is doing for me is just reminding me that, like, I should have figured out that I liked women a lot sooner, because these were the images that I looked at way more. Like, I would just be like, this is an interesting picture. I'm just going to look at this for a long time. I'm meditating on it. I'm meditating on it. No, this is not gay. I'm meditating on this image. I'm trying to get what Jehovah's trying to show me, and what he's trying to show me is backless shirts. That's what he showed me.
Backless shirts make you a harlot, apparently.
I feel like this is a better depiction of gossiping than that other one was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're clearly talking shit.
They are talking
doing
some smack
anything
about
else.
this cross-eyed dude over there wandering into their
Who's
turf.
that ugly ass white guy? I heard he's in here, like,
He lost.
he's saying that the apocalypse is coming for the city or something. What a fucking weirdo!
And why is he looking at the dildos? Like,
Yeah, that's him being like, man, this city is totally
Like,
full of
really?
shit. This city is so full. He's like,
right. He's
I'll
like,
take a caseload. That's what it looks like.
I'm taking them off your hands so you won't use them, you know?
Yeah, I'm confiscating those false religious icons. Yeah.
Exactly.
And we have one in the process of, I can only assume, being fashioned there in the bottom left there. So someone handling this this ornament. Yeah. So
That guy is getting casually beaten in the background. See that?
yeah.
He's just casually getting whacked in the neck back there.
I feel like that's like a metaphor for all of the way that Jehovah's Witnesses look at things. Like, the sexual stuff is in the foreground. It's like, oh, isn't that terrible? And then there's a dude casually getting beaten in the background.
Yeah.
So this is the 2013 book, Imitate Their Faith. And again, it's almost as though, in a strange way, the images are getting more saucy because the artwork's getting better. You know, we've gone from kind of hand-drawn images of Eve's boobs in the 1930s and 40s to...
With or without nipples.
Yeah, to very, very realistic images of the female form that, you know, as you say, Rudy, you know, can, you know, set the mind wandering, shall we say.
Yep.
Well,
Especially if you're a sexually repressed 16-year-old.
Yeah, they don't want their pillows taking a beating, man.
And you have to remember that these images will have been made by people who are sexually repressed. And so this is kind of their outlet, isn't it? To portray the human form, you know?
That and the pillows.
Especially women, yeah.
So we move on to number 18, which I've imaginatively titled Yet Another Wet Jesus. There were actually two fairly recent they keep coming back to this topic of what would Jesus look like when he'd immediately risen from the waters of the Jordan. And I was spoiled
They
for
couldn't get
choice.
him drying off. They had to have him glistening, sopping wet.
I was spoiled for choice between the Jesus the Way book and the latest Bible Lessons book. And I went instead for the Jesus the Way book, which looked like this. So
I remember this one. I remember this picture.
very, very lots of emphasis there on the abdomen and on water trickling, and yeah.
Yeah,
He's
look
got
at the
hair.
abs. It's like he baptized himself with those babies. Limbo down. I don't need no help.
That's right. Over the years, Jesus been growing more and more chest hair in these baptism pictures.
And look at his eyelashes.
Oh yeah, he's on point. He definitely puts my eyeliner on, but whatever,
The waterproof kind.
That's right.
He knows
Rest
exactly
in
what he's
peace.
doing.
But man, Jesus' workout regimen is immaculate. Like, look at them abs he got, man.
Yeah,
He really
yeah.
been
Make it a
doing
scroll. Slow down, Lloyd. Make it a scroll down.
Wow, 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 wow.
In the worst draws in the world again. And they kept
Jesus
him
there
out.
auditioning for a Diet Coke advert, it seems.
Yeah, that's right.
So we're zeroing in on the final two Saucy pictures. And we have another wet individual, but this time it's not Jesus. It's Naaman.
What?
From the Bible Lessons book. So this is the very latest version of the Bible Stories book. Naaman, blinded.
Ah,
He needs some time alone in a pool, in a state of undress, with an expression on his face that could be interpreted any number of ways.
Here's a question. How come the people who are like supposed to be the good guys in the Bible stories never get portrayed with curly hair? That's like, this is low key a little bit racist.
A little bit.
Always the bad guys that have the kinky curly hair.
And the headband.
they're evil. This guy looks like he just had a vision of Jesus getting baptized.
It does.
Oh, because where was he getting baptized? Was it in the Jordan River?
Oh yeah, Jesus was in the Jordan River.
But didn't he have to wash off his leprosy or whatever in the Jordan
And
River?
yeah, this was also the Jordan River. Yeah,
It could have been a future vision.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of
not ready.
movies. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Nothing. Go ahead.
I've seen a lot of movies where people got this face and they're like, "Oh, what are you doing, stepsis? I'm your stepbrother."
When you say you've seen a lot of movies, are these niche
Are these 20
videos?
minute or less movies?
They're documentaries on family relations.
So yeah, apparently.
I'm literally going to take this and I'm going to make it a meme and I'm going to caption it. What are you doing, stepsister?
So I'm starting to develop an impression of the Jordan River as being like a nudist's resort, where people, you have to be ripped and you have to have a moment of ecstasy.
That's right.
If you go down to the Jordan and you don't plan on taking your clothes off, you might just sit by the banks and watch, just see what's going on.
That's right.
Maybe you're going fishing, but it's just a stick with a string on it. You're not really fishing. You're just there.
Unless you're a fisher of men.
You might be
There
a
we go.
fisher of men.
That's right. Like, oh, you're a fisher of men, huh? Come on
Fisher of
in. The water is warm.
Water's warm and has a strange consistency. So, our final image number 20. I've titled it "Eve Really Wants the Fruit."
This is the last year I was in, so this will be one of the last things that I saw. Yep, I remember this one. I remember this one.
Y'all, I can hear this picture.
Super easy to Photoshop that.
Yeah.
It's because she's
Very
already
easy.
got the expression. You just need to swap out what's in her hand.
Or just change the positioning of that snake. just lower it a little.
Really, yeah.
Are we 100% confident they didn't take this picture from a actress?
Who knows? Who knows what research was involved in creating this particular artwork? All we know is that Eve's relationship with the serpent has changed. Not only has the serpent lost its arms, but it seems Eve is no longer in need of its hairstyling services. No. She's far more interested in what she's about to put in her mouth.
I mean, she said she was looking at that fruit and it was looking good.
All right. Who closes their eyes to eat fruit? I mean, come on. You only
Maybe-
close-
They go in for it real slow.
I assumed I was the only one, but this, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so at this point, according to the Jehovah's Witness canon, Adam and Eve have not yet consummated their marriage, so to speak. So she's probably desperate.
Okay. So
That fruit looking real good.
That fruit's looking real
Even
good.
though it's a bit knobbly and a bit warty.
Hey, ribbed for your pleasure.
oh
Good
man,
grief, we went there. We did go there.
he's like, I don't know what to do with this, but I want it inside of me. I don't know what
In
to
some
do.
sort of way, shape, or form.
Somehow
This
needs to be in me. I don't know.
And bear in mind, this image was included in the organization's publications, again, as recently as 2017, the February 2017 Watchtower. So we've come full circle. And bear in mind, the first image I showed you was 1927. So this is 90 years of fairly raunchy material
Wow.
in the organization's literature. It's there if you want to find it. And again, for a religion where so many people are sexually repressed, this is going I can't see this making things much easier, you know?
Yeah, I just look at that image and I'm like, okay, maybe there's two images that they got from porn somewhere, or because there's no way. How do you draw that and not have based it on porn?
They might have had
Right,
it.
or
They may have had a model that just you just sit there, close your eyes, open your
Look
mouth.
like you really want
Look
it.
like
Oh,
you
so like
really
this?
want it. Yeah.
Right? So that she's been watching porn. I don't know.
Right. Like
Imagine
someone
coaching
who
this
thought
poor
of this
girl.
creative process.
This is what I mean. I mean, there's a
porn.
Bethelite sister who's posed for this. And
Yeah.
Is this what you want,
Yeah.
Mr. Director? Like just like that. That's hilarious.
Maybe the Bethelite girl was really horny, and every now and then she'd be like,
Yeah. Like, stop doing that, Sister Eccles. Just act like you're biting the fruit. God. You're corrupt.
I want some of your fruit.
You're really tripping right now, Sister Eccles. I don't know. I just made up the name Sister Eccles.
No, that
Not
sounds
against
too
the
real.
echo.
That sounds like a real Jehovah's Witness
It
thing.
does.
Hilarious.
I feel like I probably known a few Sister Eccles.
Yeah.
well, I promised Filth. I think we've seen quite a lot of smut on this particular live stream. And what are our concluding thoughts? Let's take a few. Dare we even take? Are people even still watching at this point? That's what I want to know. Many thanks for the super chats, by the way, including one from Mary Kutchka and one from Bondi Media. Throwing 50 singles at those Chippendale dancers. Yes.
Which ones?
Scandalous, says Donna Baines. Gene Walker says it's intended to arouse, then they feel guilty and submissively obey. Fade to X has said, Lloyd, open up the Awake 1995 June 8th cover. Should I do that?
If you have it, do it.
You gotta
got
get
it
it.
right.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Okay.
Oh, we will have no problem. Right.
Absolutely.
Okay, Lloyd's taking off his headphones. What a piece of shit that guy is.
I
Right?
know,
I
right?
know.
You can't
What
hear
am I
every
doing
single
here?
thing we're saying. Did you see that guy dancing last week? No rhythm. No rhythm
thought
at
it was-
all.
I thought that it was funny, not because the joke was funny, but because his dancing was terrible.
You know he's gonna watch this and he's gonna be like, "Wait, what did you guys say?"
Yeah, no.
Uh,
Yeah, we love you, Lloyd. We're just playing.
we love you, Lloyd. He kind of had his hair like Adam had it in that one scene, right?
Yeah.
I think I know what they mean. I've just
Oh,
glimpsed
show us,
it.
show
You
us,
got
show
it.
us.
What you got?
Okay, so I'm going to put it on full screen here.
Oh,
Bondage.
that's right.
So
I
bear
mean,
in
that's
mind, this would have been a
terrible.
photo shoot as well in Bethel.
They got him all oiled up for that.
Oiled up.
They do.
God damn.
They went and got brother muscles for this.
Yeah, they got one of those people who quit being an athlete to be a Jehovah's
Yeah.
Witness and was like, yeah, we still need your athleticism for like a moment. Just a
Brother
moment.
soldier muscles.
Before it wastes away. Hurry.
Right. As if they really made the only black brother who had an erotic photo pretend to be a slave.
Yeah, I'm like, you don't just throw him right in the chains, huh?
Right.
Damn. That's messed up.
Interesting. Here's the thing. I noticed when I was doing this, because obviously the last live stream we did, Jeremy, you weren't with us, but I'm hoping we can get you back, because the last live stream we did was terrible images involving violence. And what I noticed when going through the literature for these examples is that I was coming across new examples of violence that I hadn't included in the first one. So I'm probably going to have to go back and do another 20 violent images and get you back and get Jay and
Oh man, we're gonna have to do this again. I hate it.
Let me just give a second to just say how well organized Lloyd's literature is for him to be able to find that.
Right, he just
page
right
like that.
2 seconds.
That's well. You ask me to find anything, I'm like, all right, I'll see you next video, because I'm
Yeah, I thought when I saw that comment about, oh, look in this particular magazine, that was hypothetical, but you were like, oh no, I'm just gonna.
I keep an organized library. What can I say?
Very organized.
Heather Rant says sexual repressed is how they get these poses from Bethelites. That's frankly what it's looking like, to be honest.
They all got to go back home to their pillows at night.
If she ate a pair like that at the assembly, there's definitely going to be a judicial committee. She's going to stumble a few brothers.
Sister Eccles, you look like you've been putting things in your mouth lately. We need to know what you've been up to.
I'm married. What does it matter?
Even married, you shouldn't put certain
you need
things
to call,
in
you need to call your husband in too, then.
And Celia says the internet is officially broke now. Well, that goes without saying. We have gone to some strange places that I honestly didn't expect us to go to.
Absolutely.
But we did it together, and we came up with some very insightful remarks and quite a lot of smut. But we're here now.
I'm definitely going to add those 2 gossiping ladies to my Jade and Nita fan fiction that I've already got going.
We didn't even include Jade and Nita, but how do you include it? It's a video, you know.
Right.
The whole thing is...
You already know. If you've seen it, you know. Literally, when the convention was coming out for the first time, and I was on Tumblr, and because that's kind of where my personal XJW community is. I started the first, XJW group chat on Tumblr that's there, and I invited a bunch of people, and I follow all the XJW tags on Tumblr. And during the convention, they were just popping with Pimos being like, Jade and Nita, did you guys see it? It's so gay. That made me very happy.
I can remember you following along with one of my rebuttals, and I think you might have been seeing it for the first time, and you were saying, I'm totally writing a fiction novel about this, you know?
Yeah,
I think you were saying.
It's so weird to think that somebody, even pushy old Watchtower people, could be so out of the loop that they could make that and not realize how gay that was.
And I'm one of the friends of the channel who I've had on Watchtower in Focus happens to be related to the actress who plays Jade, and has been privy to some conversations in the backlash to the Jade and Nita, and apparently they were kind of how did they put it, freaked out by the idea that so many people were making connections with the potential lesbian romance. So
I'm honestly glad. Okay, get used to it. You're a gay icon now.
You're a gay icon now. Yes, queen.
So viewers, I hope you have found. I can't really say. I hope you found this enlightening, or we've reached down to the bottom of the barrel, quite frankly. But we've kind of enjoyed it. Is that bad? We found lots of people.
Was it good for you? Like it was good for us?
And yes, there will be more. I mean, hopefully, again, if I can get this wonderful panel together again, I'm sure there are other opportunities. We can do another 20 terrible images, and we can also do 20 awful images, as in really badly drawn images. Because I've stumbled across so many bits of artwork that's just really clumsily done, you know, that I could do a better job with, you know, so...
Nice.
If you ever want us to talk about anything intellectual too, you know, like if you ever want to hear us talk about something.
So you do intellectual as well? Oh, right.
Occasionally.
She does intellectual. I do not. I'll mess up every time.
I mean, it'll be a funny take, but it'll still be intellectual.
Well, all I know is you've been brilliant. Thank you so much for your insights. Viewers, I hope you have found this show entertaining, if nothing else. Please remember to subscribe to the Lloyd Evans channel for more such videos. And as always, thank you for watching. Take care, everyone.